what's up guys, it's Timothy Shores, and in this video I'll be going over comma separated names in JavaScript. So it's good practice that includes iterating through arrays and string manipulation. Who am I? I'm an associate engineer at Optum. I'm also a software engineering fellow at Formation. The purpose of this channel is to help you level up your Java skills, so if you're interested in that, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so the problem that we're going to be working on today is called comma separated names in an array. So given an array of strings, we'll combine them into, an array of strings, that's our input, we'll combine them into a single string where a comma is separated by a comma, except for the last two pairs will be separated by the word and. Oxford comma, I'm not really sure what that is. I'm thinking that it's probably this extra comma. Sometimes it comes up if you have like a list of names before the word and. I'm assuming that, so yeah, it looks like we don't want that. So the last two pairs have the second to last name, and then the word and then last name. The function name will be called comma separate, and runtime will be of n, because that's how many times just to iterate through the input array, and then the space complexity will be of n. It's the number of names that are in the string. I went ahead and committed this already on GitHub. Let me make this a little bit larger. It's easier to see. So I have a little basically a setup file. I just use their test suite. But yeah, we're gonna make sure that it works for empty arrays, arrays with one element, two elements, multiple names, duplicate names. The test suite is what I already have in my code down here. Like if this question came up in a technical interview, you kind of want to clarify some edge cases. So, for example, if there's an empty array, we're just going to return an empty string. What if there's a single element? Are there duplicates? So I'll go ahead and get started. This should probably take under 10 minutes. Alright, and yeah, I'll be sure to include the link for this in my GitHub. So yeah, go ahead and pause this video and then try to go solve it on your own. So let's just go kind of cover some scenarios. So yeah, we have the function comma separate and takes an array. Let's just kind of go over some scenarios, which are going to be the empty array, array with one element, array with two elements, and then so go over array of three or more elements. Yeah, I'll hold off on like duplicates. We'll just kind of handle those edge cases as we go along. So if the array is empty, I'll go ahead and just start writing some code. Array.length. One, two, and then I'm pretty sure that we could just do a not instead of equal 0, but I'll just kind of continue writing. Is greater than equal to 3. Alright, so if the array is there's nothing in the array, we're just going to return an empty string. That was the definition of that. If there's just a single element in the array, we'll just do return array.pop, so that'll take the last element. You could just do like, instead of calling .pop, .length -1. Sorry, my webcam's like directly in my face. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with .pop. Okay, so if the array is two elements, so we're gonna basically want the first first word or first name, then just with a space, and then the word and another space, and then the last one. I'm trying to think of we could actually kind of combine some of these methods together. I'm gonna go ahead and start initializing some variables. So we'll have names will be basically all the names where they're separated by the comma with a space. We'll have second to last name, and then we'll have last name. Not like surname, last name, but it'll be the last name in the array. So I'm trying to think of, we have some kind of like nice little kind of helper functions, and we just all have and then I'll just have the word result. So let's see if I can kind of just go with go on the fly for this one. So what I'm thinking of is if we have a bunch of functions, so they kind of continue to go down, and at the very end we just return result. Okay, I hate that zero key. So, nope, not that. I haven't, my auto format's getting weird. So, what I'm thinking of is we have result, we'll do plus equals. Actually, let's initialize result to an empty string. Yeah, empty string, and then yeah, so there's nothing in our input array. We'll just return result, the empty string, and then if we have a length of 1, I'm just gonna start from the top and then kind of work my way down. We'll kind of problem solve as we go along. We'll go ahead and return pop. I'm gonna move this camera down a little bit so I can actually see. Okay. So basically, take the last element and then in the array, and then just add that to the string. If there's 2 elements, so that actually wait. So we have to go starting from the left to the right of. So I think I'm gonna kind of rearrange this. Yeah, when you have 3 or more. Well, I'll go with the edge case first. That's kind of how I like to handle those. If it's like a, and then kind of continue to work our way down through these scenarios. So if you have 3 or more things, what we're gonna do is loop all the way from the first element to the third to last, and then we will create kind of a string. I think it's a string already created. It's called result, and then we'll append to our result basically each name with a comma with a space for every element. And then I'll just kind of continue going down, working on pseudocode. And where am I out of time? I messed up. It was a bad assumption. So if there's two elements. I'm trying to think of how do we. I think these two need to be combined into a different type of function. Think about this. I guess we can kind of just ignore this this thing, and then because I was thinking basically of calling if there's three or more elements, we know that we're gonna have to do the second to last with the word and then the last one. But I mean, it doesn't really need a helper function. It's probably just a simple one-liner. So here, I'll just kind of write it. Second to last. Yeah, I really didn't have a good solution approach to this one. Well, we can do last name equals array.pop, and then after that's pops, second to last, we'll just basically do the same thing, array.pop. And then what we'll do is return second to last. That should not be a string. Should be the and with spaces, and then last. Okay. Just return array.pop here. Yeah, I think after this, we kind of reuse this piece. I can make a different function or something. Because yeah, this will basically reuse this piece of code right here, so we can kind of refactor that. So for let's let just do a normal for loop. I is equal to 0, while I is less than array.length. But typically we do -1. Let's set this up first. Or it's typically just array.length. But we're gonna have, and this is just for like the names with a comma, name comma space. But instead of, so this -1 would here be, this would be the last, and then doing a -2 would be the third to last. So what we'll do is result plus equals array at I, and then do a little comma space, and that should yeah, start at the beginning. I could probably call, is it shift or unshift? That removes from the first. It's not really great, like timing though, but it would hit that second one, or I guess because yeah, because if we kind of did shift or like an unshift to remove from the beginning, basically the opposite of pop, it would yeah, basically like trigger this one. But we could just create a separate function. Just call it like combine last two. Yeah, combine last two elements or last two names. I can just, I'll put it over here. Combine last to names, and it will take in, either give it the array or just the last two elements. I'll just do, we'll just do the array and then just kind of like do the implementation within here. So I'm just going to actually put this in here. Actually, I forgot that other last line. Alright, I'm not sure if this input's right. Yeah, so just take the last one and the second to last, and then combine them with space, the word space, and then last. Alright, and then I'll just go ahead and call this line over here, when we will go ahead and pass in the array. And I don't think I need these ones. And then over in this one, will be the same, but what we'll do is create a new array, and then we'll spread in. I guess technically I should do, this will look ugly though. Array at the dot length -2 and then -1. So actually, I'm even using these other variables. I don't even know if I need those variables. So this is the second to last element, and then the last element. I mean, it works. Yeah, it's gonna do pop, but yeah, let's actually just do that. So I'll do the popping in this, and then just basic string concatenation. So let's bring these back. So we'll do last name. We'll just pop it. This exercise did not go very well for me. I think the time limit was 8 minutes. We're definitely well above that. Alright, so this will just be last name. I think it just looks a little bit cleaner. It is the same thing, but I don't even know I need this helper function anymore, because it's just, I mean, it's pretty simple. guess I'm vaccinated, so you won't die. Okay. So really all this helper function does is put the word and then here. I mean, is it even worth making a separate helper function? Because I mean, in this one, here, I'm just gonna brute force this through. Return, we'll do return result plus, and then there should be, yeah, space after this, so let's do this one. Oop. And here. Yeah, kind of would have actually made sense to just, because we're just repeating this line, doesn't really matter, but, I don't really want to go back though, because time's so long already. I can refactor after we get all the tests passing. So yeah, I think this should work. My bad, I totally went out of time, and this is pretty slow. Anyway, so yeah, in our test cases down here, we have so an example where it's empty. The empty array should return the return a string with nothing, which is right here. This results nothing. And then, so if it just has a single name in the array, if array.length is 1, then we'll just return, yeah, the single thing. Dot pop will call the last element. This is the last element technically, and the first element. These are duplicates, so I only need 1, and so yeah, there's 2 names in this array. There's 2 things in this, then we'll just do pop as last name, so that'll be Craig, and then sort of last name, second to last name is, we'll call pop, and Craig's in this one anymore, so it'll just be Daniel. It's kind of the same thing then as the example with yeah. Actually, guys, do a string concatenation one on this? No, because that would remove the last. Yeah, because string concatenation adds to, there might be other things I could do later on, but I'm just going to go for this for now, and just go ahead and use Quokka and run it on the current file. Let me close this thing out, and let's see what the tests say. True, we are good. Oh yeah, and then these bottom ones, so these are examples of 3. I'll just go ahead and me, myself, and then I. Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, even if I add on longer input arrays, it still does return true in here. But yeah, it looks like everything else. We have 3, Sam, Grant, and Jenny. Sam, comma, Grant, and Jenny. It sounds weird to read this out because you naturally say and when you read stuff right here. But yeah, all the test cases are returning true. So it looks like, yeah, we are good. This one, I'll go ahead and stop the timer. Ooh, that's bad. So I kind of want to refactor some stuff. I don't really like the dot pop stuff. I think I should have gone back and just kept the combined 2 last names. Okay. So I'm gonna, yeah, have these, but if I call dot pop, I'll just call the dot pop in the helper function. Um, two last names, and I'll just make it the ugly looking thing where it is instead of where I'll pass in the first parameter will be array at dot length -2. This will be the second to last, and then instead of -2 it would be -1, and this is the last element now. And then this ugly looking thing will just be a return. I think that looks a little bit nicer. I'm gonna go. Oh, I should delete the comments, but we're gonna do it. True. Yeah, instead of calling .pop, yeah, we could have just done the first index, which is 0. I don't think it matters. I mean, .pop is a tiny thing on memory. Yeah, just leave it as .pop. Yeah, so I think. Whoops, we do not need these ones down here because these are just parameters. We don't have any variable names. I could do this. Do it this way instead of this is like the better ES6 syntax. Okay. And I definitely missed something because it's not happy. There we go. Is everything still return true? Looks like everything is true. And yeah, I think it looks good. This one's a little bit ugly, but yeah, it's better to do one-liner because the other way would have been like the last name .pop, second to last name .pop. And then passing those two. Yeah, and then could have done a dot shift, but that moves basically every single element in the array, so that's really not that great time complexity wise. Yeah, I think this is kind of my final solution. Yeah, it covers empty array. You're just returning an empty string. Single element, you just return the only element in there. If there's two elements in the array, call a helper function, combine last two names. All it is just the second to last name and then last name. Then we pass in this ugly thing. I mean, we could just do, instead of like calling in this ugly thing, just give it a single parameter array. Because these are both, sorry, I'm just thinking through this. Yeah, because they'll have at least two elements in there. So we'll take in the array, and then I could do our little .pop thing in here. I don't know how to copy and paste. Last name we'll have to do this one first because we'll just do array.pop. and then we'll do the same thing for second to last name, because dot pop removes the last element in the array. So then this new second to last element would be in the new last element. So and we'll have to throw in return. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit nicer. Still getting true, true, true. Yep, all true. Yeah, that looks. I think that looks a little bit nicer. Just calling it that way. Yeah, I think that's probably the cleanest way to write this. Definitely not an 8-minute solution. Sorry, guys, but we got there. Yeah, this little helper function thing, kind of refactoring that. Yeah, and I should have started really at length 3, the larger cases first, and then work my way down. But oh well, we still got there. Hopefully this helps. I'll drop a link to my Discord if anyone's interested in connecting after this. Yeah, I'm trying to create videos a couple times per week, just working through random JavaScript kind of coding problems. Hopefully this helps you guys, and also just it's kind of a real world example of making a lot of mistakes, because a lot of YouTube videos are extremely polished of coding. So yeah, all right. Hopefully this helps. Have a good one.